The year was 1987, and the small town of Flint, Michigan, buzzed with anticipation. The local boxing arena, a gritty, sweat-soaked relic of better days, was packed to the rafters. Fans clutched their tickets, their cheers echoing for Jamal the Hammer Carter, a 24-year-old black boxer with a dream bigger than the odds stacked against him. Jamal wasn't just fighting for a title tonight. He was fighting for respect, for his family, and for every kid in Flint who'd been told they'd never make it. Jamal's story wasn't one of privilege. Raised in a neighborhood where gunshots were lullabies, he found salvation in the ring. His father, a factory worker who'd lost his job when the plants closed, taught him to throw a punch with purpose. "Hit like you mean it, son," he'd say. "The world won't give you nothing for free." Jamal's mother, a nurse working double shifts, prayed over him before every fight, whispering, "God's got you, baby." Tonight's fight was the biggest of Jamal's career, a shot at the Midwest welterweight championship against Tommy the Titan Russo, a white boxer with a silver spoon and a cocky grin. Russo's team had money, connections, and a reputation for playing dirty. Whispers swirled that the referee, Frank Malone, was in their pocket. Malone, a grizzled veteran with a history of questionable calls, had a smirk that didn't sit right with Jamal's trainer, Coach Eddie. "Watch him, kid," Eddie warned. "He's got no love for fighters like you." The bell rang, and the arena erupted. Jamal moved like lightning, his jabs sharp, his footwork flawless. Russo, bigger and slower, relied on brute force, but Jamal's speed was a problem. Round one was a clinic. Jamal landed clean shots, dodging Russo's wild swings. The crowd roared, chanting, "Hammer! Hammer!" But Malone's eyes never left Jamal, his whistle quick to call minor infractions. A slight push, point deduction, a low jab, clearly legal. Another warning. By round three, Jamal was down on points, not because of Russo, but because of Malone's biased calls. In the corner, Coach Eddie was livid. "This ref's cheating you, Jamal. He's trying to rob you blind." Jamal's chest heaved, sweat dripping, but his eyes burned with fire. "I ain't losing tonight, Coach. Not to Russo, not to Malone, not to nobody." His mother's prayers echoed in his mind, and he thought of his little sister, watching from home, believing in her big brother. This was bigger than a belt. It was about proving the world wrong. Round four was a turning point. Russo, emboldened by Malone's favoritism, got sloppy. Jamal saw his chance. He ducked a haymaker and landed a vicious uppercut, sending Russo stumbling. The crowd leaped to their feet, but Malone stepped in, claiming a foul. The arena booed, beer cups flying. Jamal's heart sank. Was this how it ended? Cheated out of his moment? Back in the corner, Coach Eddie grabbed Jamal's face. "You hear that, crowd? They know you're the champ. Don't let this racist ref steal your destiny. Fight smart, fight hard, and knock him out." Jamal nodded, his resolve steel. He wasn't just fighting for himself anymore. He was fighting for every black kid who'd been counted out, every dreamer told their skin made them less. Round five began, and the tension was electric. Russo, sensing victory, came out swinging. But Jamal was a man possessed. He bobbed, weaved, and landed a combination that rocked Russo's head back. Malone's whistle stayed silent. Too many eyes were watching now. The crowd's roar was deafening, a wave of support carrying Jamal forward. He could feel it. The moment was his. Then it happened. In the final seconds of round six, Russo lunged, overconfident. Jamal saw the opening, his father's voice in his ear. "Hit like you mean it." He unleashed a right hook with every ounce of his soul. The punch connected with a crack that silenced the arena. Russo hit the canvas like a felled tree, out cold. The knockout was undeniable. But Malone hesitated. The crowd held its breath as he stood over Russo, counting slowly, his eyes darting to Russo's corner. Was he going to cheat again? The arena exploded in chants of, "Jamal! Jamal!" forcing Malone's hand. At the count of 10, he raised Jamal's arm, his face sour. The underdog had won, not just the fight, but the war against injustice. The arena erupted in celebration. Jamal's mother rushed the ring, tears streaming as she hugged her son. Coach Eddie lifted the championship belt, screaming, "That's my boy!" Fans chanted Jamal's name, their pride drowning out the bitterness of Malone's bias. In that moment, Jamal wasn't just a boxer. He was a symbol of triumph over racism, a beacon of hope for a community that needed it. As the cameras flashed, Jamal took the mic. His voice was steady, powerful. "This ain't just for me," he said. "This is for Flint. For every kid who's been told they ain't enough. For every fighter who's faced a rigged game and kept swinging. We don't quit. We rise. The crowd roared, and even some of Russo's fans clapped, moved by his heart. The aftermath was electric. Local papers ran headlines like Hammer Smashes Prejudice and Jamal Carter, the people's champ. Malone's reputation took a hit. Investigations into his biased calls gained traction, and he was quietly sidelined. Jamal's victory sparked conversations about fairness in sports, shining a light on systemic racism that had lingered too long. Years later, Jamal opened a gym in Flint, training kids for free. He'd tell them his story, pointing to the faded poster of his championship night. "The world will try to cheat you," he'd say, "but you keep fighting. You're stronger than their hate." His sister, now a lawyer, worked to reform sports regulations, inspired by her brother's courage. Jamal's knockout wasn't just a punch, it was a statement. He proved that no referee, no system, no prejudice could stop a champion with heart. His legacy lived on, not in belts or headlines, but in the kids who laced up gloves, believing they could be more. What a story of redemption and resilience. If Jamal's fight moved you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. Drop your city in the comments. Let's see where our champions are watching from. Stay tuned for more inspiring tales of triumph over injustice.